guys, welcome back to Media One TV. And so today you're with Cindy Kavuchi. Today we meet a guy who battled all odds against cancer. Kindly tell us your name and tell us about yourself.
Okay, I'm called Michael Ochieng. I'm a resident of Nyawita. I want to give hope to someone who is going through the same process I went through. I'm a cancer survivor. Indeed, and this process is very, very hectic. And I realized that there's so many challenges. I've learned a lot through this process. I've learned new words, new things. So I just want to give someone hope out there. Thank you.
And just to ask you, could you tell us how you realized you had cancer? And when you were diagnosed, what was your first reaction?
Okay, when I realized that I had cancer and my reaction, first I was experiencing a backache, like severe backache every now and then. I could go to chemist and take a painkiller every now and then, like 1 week, 2 weeks. It's ended up going through up to 1 month. So I decided to go to the hospital in Russia. So I went and approached one of my friends who is a doctor, and I told her that I have a severe pain in my back, and I cannot understand what is it. And through that, it was back in 2021 when by then at around July when I lost my mom. So for me, I thought that it was a stress. That's why I was facing that pain. So for me, I thought that it was a normal pain. It went like that 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. So after 5 months, I was unable to walk straight. So I was just down in the house, not doing anything, house chores. I can't bend. So I used to do things like I couldn't go to the toilet. I couldn't walk straight unless someone supports me to the toilet. So when that my friend who was a doctor advises me to go to Jaramogi Oginga Hospital, I decided to take the initiative and to go there. So by the time I reached there, I went for a test, several tests. Wakanisho that hakuna kitu anything. So I was referred to an oncologist. So by the time I went for an oncologist, so I went through that oncologist. They made a report, and then I went for a test called biopsy to determine whether I'm suffering from a cancer or other disease. So I waited for the result after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I was the report came back, and then I was told that I have a cancer. That's how I discovered that I have a cancer.
And what was your first reaction when you discovered you had cancer?
Okay, my first reaction, I was down. It reached a point when I was telling myself, why me? Because I've just lost my mother some few months back, and after that 6 to 3 months, I'm discovering that I have a cancer. So it was stressful. It was frustration, and then it reached a point when I gave out the information to one of my guardian, but what he told me gave me some hope that there is hope even through the cancer period. There is hope. So that's how I build my confidence after those frustration. So that's how I took myself upon myself to tell myself that it is well with me.
And after being diagnosed, was there any difference from your friends' characters, your family, as in how they took the information?
Yeah, there was a big difference because I lost many friends. Some few closest friends thought that I was a liability. I will not make it. I will not make it throughout my cancer period. So what I did is that to depend on God and tell myself that when all is said and done, itakuwa tu sawa, itakuwa tu poa. So that's how I build out myself. But though I lost many friends, relatives, because cancer I was like, by then I was going through a financial constraint, so it was costly. Like tests, you could do. The time I did a test of almost 5,600. So I reach out to my friends. Then some people are telling me that, oh, now we are just from Corona, and you want to give us a burden. So it was, for me, it was like, really, yeah, that's what I can say.
And about your chemotherapy, could you kindly just take us through what you went through while having your chemotherapy sessions?
Okay, first, after discovering that I have a cancer, after the tests, I was referred to an hospital called post-discharge clinic. This is my clinic card for chemotherapy sessions. So I was referred there. So I started my chemotherapy session there. I went for the first chemotherapy session. It's called first cycle, first session. So I went. Before I went for the nini, I was prepared. There's what we call peer navigator. A peer navigator simply means it's someone who has gone through the same process but is giving you a clue, because there's this assumption. People say that, oh, nywele yako itatoka, oh, siji uta lose appetite, oh, siji utakonda, which is not true. Few are true, but some are not true, some are myths. I would discover that I had a second stage cancer. A second stage, it was on a second stage. So what they did, they gave me a peer navigator who could tell me give me a rough idea of what I'm going through. What I'm going to experience. Yeah. So what I did, I built a rapport with my peer navigator. So he told me that this is what the process you're going through, you are going to experience and going through. So by the time I was going for my first chemo, it was an hectic experience because I've never been into hospital. So I went for my first chemo on 22nd Feb 2022. So by the time I was put in that machine, so I was wondering, like, it took me 2 hours to 3 hours for that drugs to enter it, because it's a chemical form. Imewekwa maji and then the chemical is there. So unawekwa syringe, inawekwa like kwa vein, penye vein iko, and then shindani inadungwa, inaingia ndani, like for somehow mpaka ile dawa ingie ndani yako for about roughly 2 to 3 hours. After that unatoka umechoka, uko like, what next? And I used to travel from Kisumu to Homa Bay like after 3 weeks. Yeah.
And why did you not take the option of having your chemotherapy sessions in Kisumu?
Okay, by then Jaramogi Oginga Odinga had some few challenges of machine may break. So that's why they decided to take me to Chulaimbo. I had a doctor who I knew at Jaramogi. So they referred me to Chulaimbo. Then the Chulaimbo is a branch of the organization called post-discharge clinic, like Medicine Sans Frontiers. It is a branch, so they refer me to a branch at Chulaimbo. That's what from Chulaimbo they have another branch. So from Chulaimbo they told me to go either to Eldoret or Homa Bay. So I decided to go to Homa Bay because of that distance. From Kisumu to Eldoret is far. Yeah.
And you've said that each chemotherapy session comes with different reactions.
Yeah.
Was it that strenuous moving from Kisumu to Homa Bay then back, or were you staying at Homa Bay for a while before you get better?
No, the other challenge that I have, this is, it may sound funny. I had no relative in Homa Bay. I have no friend in Homa Bay. So it forces me to just wake up at 4 with with someone who can support me, because I was unable even to because I was using a PSV. So someone the someone who can support me by when I'm boarding a PSV, or I'm heading in the hospital. So that was the key challenge that I have. I remember there's a time when I was going for my third session. My legs were swollen. I was unable even to raise my legs. So I remember, because I had a financial constraint, I was unable to take a cab or anything. So I was using a motorcycle so that I can reach to the stage. Then I take a PSV to Homa Bay, and then from Homa Bay from Kisumu to Homa Bay is roughly 2 to 3 hours. So it was a big challenge for me. It was frustrating because saa zingine matatu itakuwa inasimama, and then maybe your body imeswollen yote. So nile ikinini kidogo ikiingia kwa bumps unasikia maumivu. So it was a very hectic experience. Yeah.
And could you kindly tell us, like, after which chemo session did you start at least feeling better?
That was last year. Around my 5th chemo, I started feeling better, responding well. I could hit, because at my first session, nilipoteza weight, weight loss, appetite, my legs, my body. I remember there's a time I went with a leso, because body yangu yote ilikuwa imefura kubwa sana, so I couldn't wear my trousers. So it forces me to use a Masai leso. So for me, people were looking at me like what the hell is wrong with this guy? Is this guy normal, or nini namfanya? Because my body imeswell yote. So it was an hectic experience. Wengine wanakutupia mdomo, watu wanasema hii ni uganga, hii jamaa ni uganga, aende tu kwa uganga. I remember there is a relative of mine mwenye alinirifa kwa ati niende kwa maombi, nitafute mtu wa roho aniombe. So by the time I was in bed, that guy came. So akikuja akaniambia nitafute siji mbuzi black, kuku nini. So for me, I knew what I was going through. I knew that I was experiencing a side effect of chemotherapy. So this relative of mine could not understand. Yeah, akasema ni dawa, mara nimerushiwa dawa, nini. So I told them that this is side effect. Many of people will not by then could not understand the side effect. So and then it reached a point yenye sikuwa nakula totally, like nikikula sisikii anything, any taste. By the way, I can't sense anything, like hata sahi kitu yanguke hapa sahi, like hata kitu yenye imeoza, I will not sense it since I started my chemo. I started experiencing after going chemo, so I lost my sense. So yeah, that's what I get.
And after you started feeling better, could you say your family members who had like discriminated or neglected you came back, and your friends?
Not really. Some came and encouraged me. Some just went missing. If you call them, they won't pick. If you text them to know how they are doing, they won't reply back. So for me, it was a saddest moment for me, because I needed people at most at that time I was experiencing the side effects. And then, though my granny is late, I would like to thank my granny so much. He helped me so much. She helped me so much to sort my bills because I was not staying at home. I was staying outside home. So paying rent became something which was unbearable. I couldn't afford to pay rent like every month. I remember I went for almost 1 to 5 months not paying, having rent arrears. So my landlord was understandable. He was understanding my situation. So my late granny took an initiative of hosting me. Akasema, all is well, don't worry yourself, I'll pray for you. So what you did, you just wewe uhame penye umeishi kuja tuishi. So that's how I hata ilinisaidia sana pia kwa building my confidence, because she was giving me hope. She was praying for me like every now and then. She would encourage me and tell me that, God heals, trust God and trust God that all is well, have faith in God. So for me it was like, okay, I'm getting it. Though it was so, I was experiencing pain kabisa. I remember there's a time she was praying and then pain ilikuwa ina nini. The more my granny is praying, the more the pain inazidi. So I was telling myself that, hey, granny angejua that the more ana pray, the more I'm experiencing the pain, angeacha tu. So I think it was because of that frustration. So I was feeling like, no, everything was like, liwe liwalo, nini. So that's how I went through.
And could you please tell us the type of cancer you were diagnosed with?
I was diagnosed with a skin cancer. Ilinishika kwa mapaja. So mapaja yangu ilikuwa imefura. So for me, by the time mapaja yangu ilianza kufura na kukua na kidonda, I was so shocked. Yeah, singejua juu mimi I've never been in the hospital since I was born. I'm almost 26. Asijawahi kuwa kuosi. Yeah. So for me, ilini shock so much that, kwani what is wrong? Is it nini hiyo nini yenye imetumwa ama what might be wrong? So for me ilikuwa like stressful. Yeah.
And now that you've told us you finished your first phase of chemo, you're in your second phase of chemo. Is there some difference between the first phase and the second phase?
Yeah, there's a big difference. Because first chemo, I was experiencing a lot of side effects. But my second chemo imekuwa tu sawa, too successful. I can travel from here, from Kisumu to Homa Bay, with my, like, I don't need any support, like nitembe na mtu ama nini. Yeah. So imekuwa na big difference. I can do things, I can do house chores, 1, 2, 3 things, but not heavy ones. Because I was advised by the doctors that I need to take it slow, bit by bit, because for the last 1.5 years I was going through a process wenye sijawahi experience. So nikijianza kuweka kwa active, so much active, nitakuwa affected as well. So ilibidi tu mimi niende like bit by bit, but I cannot do like heavy, do like carry a 20 liters, like a 20 liters a can of water. I cannot carry that unless ikuwe 10 liters ama 5 liters. Yeah.
And could you please tell us, like, what changed permanently? Like, from what you were doing before you realized you had cancer. Since you had cancer, what has permanently changed in your life that you don't think it will ever go back to the normalcy?
Okay, what changed in my life? For me, I had vision for myself. I had like end year resolution. So for me, by the time I was going through a cancer process, ilini drag nyuma, because I had that nilikuwa na vision ya kufanya some few projects nini. I couldn't accomplish what I was like yearning to do. So for me ilikuwa like backwardness, like growth. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuna ni grow to another level. For me ilikuwa imeni waste sana, like I should by now I should have been somewhere. By the time I was like not having cancer, I was like working for one of the politicians around. I was like blogger wake, and I was doing the marketing and strategy. But after discovering that I have a cancer, nilikuwa down, so I was unable to be active social media nini because of the situation I was into by then. So hiyo job ilienda hivyo. And then currently what I'm doing now, I'm like currently I'm not doing anything. I'm not under payroll. So bado nasaka job. There's a organization I'm supposed to apply nini, but I'm trusting God that nini mlango itafunguka very very soon. I'm still having hope that I'll get that job. But chemo session nilimaliza jana. Actually yesterday I was in Homa Bay, so I did my second cycle 6 session, so I'm done with cycle 2. So I'm going back actually in 14th February, so that the doctor can examine me to determine whether I'm cancer free or not. Yeah.
And could you say that your previous employer came through for you during your treatment period?
Yeah. Actually, he came through several times, like doing for me shopping, like if I'm lacking something. And then pia I forgot my church, Sitam Kisumu. It ilinisaidia a lot. Like I'm serving at Sitam Kisumu as a praise and worship member. So they came through for me several times. They could call, come and pray for me, do for me 1, 2, 3 things, kuosha nyumba, just being there for me, kuleta BS kwangu. So hiyo pia ilichangia for recovery yangu very fast. And then niyo tu huyo politician nisaidia, but kilicho na mwanzo inakuanga na mwisho So it reach a point senye sasa si mimi peke yangu ndo nahitaji, constituency ni kubwa, so nile got trailed up in some nini, so that's how we cut links. So ni hivyo tu, ilikuwa tu hivyo. Yeah.
And about your church, saying that your church came through, could you say they're also still there during this recovery journey?
Yeah. Actually, there's some people who always call me like randomly. Like sometimes niko too lonely. Unaona ile time yenye unasemanga like what next? Then unapata kuwa there's that friend who will call you. Akwambia, ni aje Michael, uko fiti? No, kama uko fiti, nataka leo to have a cup of tea, to chat, something like that. Yeah, so there's some people who still call me, at even today in the morning. There's some people who always check me, asipoko leo, maybe kesho, hivyo. So I'm so much encouraged and I'm so much grateful to them.
And what advice would you give people who are suffering from the same?
Okay, the advice I can give the patient who have cancer, the advice I can give them is that there is hope as long as you follow the right channel by doing what doctors advise you, by completing your chemo sessions. Because I realized by the time I was going for my chemotherapy, there's some people we started with who left. Like they left because maybe walienda first session, second session, third session, wakaona kuna improvement, waka left. that is very dangerous. It's dangerous because inaweza kuja, hiyo ugonjwa inaweza kuja times 2. Si ati umepona, ati ukienda first session, second session ama first section ati sasa umepona fully, ukishaona improvement. You have to go to mpaka last session and following doctor's instruction. So that's what I can tell them.
This is just a story of hope, and many of you suffering out there, do not fear to visit the hospitals since there is light at the end of the tunnel. Kindly remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Media One TV.